if you're in a relationship and you realize that you are the one doing the giving, you are the one doing the giving all the time, and you also realize that even with the fact that you are the one doing the giving, your giving is not enough. They want more. They want more. They criticize you. They make you feel less. If you're in this kind of a relationship, then today's video is actually for you. And in today's video, I'm going to share 6 boundaries you can actually set in your relationship to break toxic cycle. So today's video is actually titled 6 boundaries you can set to break free from toxic relationship. And when I mean break free, I mean break free completely. You break the hold they have on you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Flourishing Tribe with TA, where we talk about healing from trauma, building your self-confidence, and relationship issues. My name is Elizabeth Akini. I am a certified trauma and relationship therapist, and I help women to heal from the trauma of a toxic relationship to help them build self-confidence and also move into healthier relationship. So ladies, what I'm going to teach you today, or what I'll be sharing with you today, is something that is going to save you and something that is going to help you to be in control of your life. It is not just only today's episode, it's not just only a video, it is actually an homework, an habit, a lifestyle. So you need to watch it, and you also need to learn it, practice it, and make it a daily habit. And when you now get the positive result, come back here to thank me later. So ladies, stay tuned and I'll be right back. So before I actually give you the boundaries, there are some few thoughts I actually want to share with you. Many people believe that in a relationship, let's say a toxic relationship, whereby you are being criticized, manipulated, gaslighted, and every other thing, that the other person is the problem. So we project everything outward, we look outward, we look at who to blame. But what most people don't really realize is that when you put the blame outside, you are not taking responsibility. You're trying to say it is not your fault. And it's not that I'm trying to excuse anybody's bad behavior or trying to cover up for anybody's bad behavior. But when we find ourselves in an abusive relationship, it is very easy for us to put the blame on the other partner, not trying to see where we ourselves are going wrong. And this is what I'm trying to say. Many women have been trained to believe that love means sacrifice, love means endurance. So when you're in a relationship whereby you are being criticized, you are being taken for granted, it is not the other person's fault because you've not been able to set boundaries in the relationship. Let us go to the 6 types of boundaries that you can set in your relationship that will actually set you free. So this is where I want you to get your pen, and this is where I want you to get your book. Write down everything I'm going to say today. The first boundary you have to set, which is boundary number 1, is communication boundary. And this boundary says, I won't engage in conversations that is meant to tear me down. You need to write this one down. I won't engage in conversation that is meant to tear me down. So when someone yells at you, or when someone does something nasty at you, or when someone says something nasty at you, or when someone criticizes you, or when someone makes you feel sad, all those negative behavior they come up with, they do it for one reason, and that is they want to provoke you. They want to have a reaction. They want you to react. They want you to say something. So that is the reason why they say all those things. It is not left for you to understand, to know that you respect yourself so much that you won't allow them to tear you down. So you know your time and your energy is precious, and you don't need to waste it on things that are not important, conversations that are not important. You don't need to waste your words, you don't need to waste your energy yelling back at them. Yelling back at them will only make things worse. So instead of actually yelling back at them, you give yourself that love, that respect, that you won't engage in any conversation that is going to tear you down, because the main aim of those people behaving the way they are behaving is actually because they want to tear you down. So they are actually doing all those things to provoke you. And the best thing you can actually do is for you to maintain that boundary that, no, I am not going to stoop so low to your level. So in such a situation, you just ignore them and you move away from them. Yes, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, you move away from them, because you realize that no, you are not going to play the game that they are actually playing. You are telling yourself that I need to be respected. So when you want to communicate with me, you communicate with me with respect, not by yelling at me or calling me names or criticizing me or mocking me or make me feel less about myself. So you tell them you walk away. You are not ready for this. You are not ready going. You're not going to do this with them. No. You don't have to yell at me. So if you realize that they are not going to change, move away from them. Make it known to them that no, if you want to talk to me with respect. As long as you're still going to be yelling at me, as long as you're still going to be criticizing me, calling me names, trying to tear me down with your words, then we have nothing to talk about. Yes, we have nothing to talk about, because I respect myself enough. So the second boundary you need to actually set, which is boundary number 2, is the financial boundary. And this boundary says, I will not be controlled, I will not be manipulated by money. Yes, because many toxic people, they use your finances to control you, because you find that in relationships or in marriage whereby one of the partner is dependent, the other partner is the one depending on the other partner. They are the ones in charge of the finances. They use this as a way to keep their partner under control. So when you find yourself in such a situation whereby it's your other partner that is controlling your finances and it's using it as a way to manipulate you and just spend money recklessly or withhold money from you, whereby you have to work so hard to make money, then the best thing you need to do is you need to actually have your own account. Separate your account from his or her account. Separate it from them and make sure that you have your own account. It is your right to have accountability on the money that is coming into the family. It is your right to know every amount that is coming into the family and how it's being spent and what it is being spent over. Not that somebody will be the one in charge. It gives you stipend and tells you that there is no money, whereas it's using the money to actually do other things outside. It is your responsibility to know. So refuse to be controlled by money. It is your right to be financially empowered. As a woman, you have to be financially empowered. You don't have to depend on the man for your source of income. I know some women will not agree with me here, but some who understand it is the best thing to have your own money as a woman. Yeah, because you have the mouth to talk, you have the mouth to do whatever you want to do, and you are the one in charge. It won't actually tell you how you're going to spend the money. So even if you're the one making the money, let this be a lesson to you that you have to be the one in charge of your money. Your husband, your boyfriend, that dictates how you spend your money. Yes, some people might not agree with me, but it's just the damn truth. Doesn't have to be the one to tell you how you're going to spend your money. The way you spend your money depends on you. If you are a good woman, you should know what you need to do in the house and spend your money on the things that will actually make the family go forward. But for your husband to control your finances, your husband should tell you how you're going to spend your money, controlling your finances, using as a way to keep you in a relationship and making you suffer. Don't just try. So the third boundary you need to set is actually called the energy boundary. And this boundary says that I will not stay in a place, I will not stay in a relationship that drains me. I don't know, maybe you've been around some people, you talk to them and you find out that you feel exhausted. You will not be motivated to do anything throughout the whole day. It's like as if there's something going on. You just talk to them and your whole world changes. everything about you. You feel demotivated, you feel discouraged because there's a way they talk that actually brings down your energy. And there's some people you will talk to, you feel elevated, you feel motivated. They bring out the best in you, they make you want to do more. Yeah. So the kind of people you stay around with matters a lot. The energy they carry really matters a lot. When you stay around negative-minded people, when you stay around them, you find out that they drain you. Toxic people, negative-minded people, people who will always criticize, people who will always mock, people who will always see the other bad things in every good thing you're doing. When you sit down around them, they drain your energy and you feel exhausted. So in such a situation, such a relationship, you don't have to tolerate them. So you don't have to stay in a relationship whereby they will keep draining you. Whatever relationship you find yourself with, whoever you find yourself with, you have to actually limit the access they have into your life. It's your right to protect your energy space. When you're moving with somebody, you realize that they are not motivating you, but they are demotivating you every time. They are not allowing you to grow. They suck up your energy. It is time for you to set your boundaries, protect your emotional space, and let them know, no, you can't go any further. So the first boundary you need to set is the physical boundary, and this boundary says, my body is my own, so you don't have to touch it. I repeat again, my body is my own and you don't have to touch it. It is your right to protect your body, to allow anyone to just touch your body or touch your body in a way that is not right. You don't have to allow a man to beat you up or slap you. It belongs to you. It is your responsibility to take care of it. It is your right to speak up and say no. It is your right. Don't be in a relationship where you'll be slapped, a relationship where you'll be dragged, a relationship whereby they will have to punch you or just to show to you that they love you. It is your right to say no. Don't be in such a relationship, because if you allow the person to slap you the first time, what is the certainty that they won't do it the second time? Even if they apologize to you and tell you no, they will still do it again because you've not been able to set boundaries and make them understand that your body is your own and nobody has the right to actually do whatever they like to your body. You have to actually set this boundary. It is one way to protect yourself. It is one way to protect your peace. So how many have we said so far now? We've talked about the physical boundaries, we've talked about financial boundaries, we've talked about energy boundaries, we've actually talked about communication boundaries. Now we are actually going to be talking about emotional boundaries. And this boundary states, I am not responsible for other people's feelings and emotion. I made a live session on something like this, and it is called The Things You Are Not Responsible For. There I made emphasis on the things you are not responsible for, and I actually made mention of this, that you're not responsible for other people's feelings.
What I'm going to tell you today is going to help free you from the clutters on carrying the weight of people's expectations, always living up to people's expectations. It will free you from carrying the heavy weight of fixing other people's problem, and it will also save you from carrying the excess weight of seeking people's validation and approval. So that is what I'm talking about today. So the topic for today is you are not responsible for people's feeling. The way to set boundaries without guilt. I say it again, you're not responsible for people's feeling. So that is what I'll be talking about today. And the sole reason for today's episode is basically one word: freedom. Today is a day of freedom. It is meant to bring you freedom. So that's the essence of today's class, to liberate you from the ways you're carrying so that you'll be able to maximize your potential. So that is what we'll be talking about today. So let's begin. You know, when we carry the weight of other people's responsibilities, sometimes we take more than we can actually carry, especially if the people we are taking responsibility for, they are our loved ones. We want to be responsible for their happiness. We want to be responsible to living up to their expectations. When they expect us to do something, we want to always make sure we do it. We want to be responsible for fixing people's feelings, fixing people's problem. And sometimes this weight can become so much that it becomes exhausting. It becomes quite draining. One thing I want you to understand is that if you decide to take on the weight of meeting up to people's expectations, carrying the weight of actually solving their problems, I tell you, it will never stop. It will stop. As long as you are alive and you are taking up the responsibility of fixing other people's problem, living up to other people's expectation, finding it very difficult to say no, it will not stop. And you can't live your life trying to please everybody. You can't please everybody. You can only do your best and leave the rest. You can't live for everybody, trying to make everybody happy. I can just imagine trying to make everybody pleased with you, trying to do things that will displease you to please them. It's a way of being miserable. I see it as a way of being miserable. You don't have to live your life like that. So, and if you decide you are going to take up the responsibility to try to fix everybody, to try to fix people's happiness, to try to fix people's problem, to live up to the expectations and the approval, you will carry on the responsibility and you will carry on an heavy weight. And every weight that becomes so heavy that it begins to block your potential and it begins to block your ability to grow. You won't be able to grow as you ought to, because the time you're supposed to use to focus on yourself, you will use it on other people. And by the time you finish helping them solve their problem or making them happy, you have little or no energy left for yourself. And in that way, that little energy you have for yourself might not be enough to solve all your problems, to focus on your own growth, to focus on your own happiness. And that's another way to be miserable. So that is what I don't want for you. I don't want such for you. So I am here today to make you understand that you are not responsible for people's feelings. You don't have to be a people's pleaser. If people are going to like you, they will like you. If people are not going to like you, they are not going to like you. It's that simple. It's not about you. So like I said earlier, the purpose of today's class is to bring you freedom, is to bring you liberation so that you can maximize your potential. So we are getting to where we are talking now. So what are the things you're not responsible for? So I'll be sharing some few points with you, and I hope you will take note of this. And if you find yourself in any of these shoes, Madam, Oga, like what we will put it in a pidgin English in Nigeria, Madam, Oga, meaning ladies and gentlemen, please stop. Please stop and focus on yourself. So the first thing you are not responsible for, you are not responsible for other people's feeling. So that's the first thing you are not responsible for. People will always have feelings. People will always feel one way or the other. It's not your responsibility. The way people feel about you or the way people feel about yourself is not yours to carry. It's not yours to worry why they feel the way they feel. People will always have feelings. People will always have feelings, whether good or bad, based on the condition of things that happen around them or based on their environment. So it's not your problem if anybody decides to feel happy, anybody decides to feel sad, anybody decides to feel angry or mad. It is not yours to carry. It is not yours to change. You can be kind to some people, you can be nice to some people, you can be loving to some people, but they will still decide to feel hurt by the good things you do for them. It is not about you, but it's about them. You don't have to take it personal. You don't have to go extra mile to make them happy. If they are not happy, they are not happy with themselves. They need to check themselves. You don't have to take up that responsibility and say you have to make them happy. It is not your responsibility. Because when you take up responsibility for other people's happiness, you will engage in activities that will lead to people's pleasing, because you will always do things to please them, to displease yourself. And you will waste your time and energy on things that you should let go of. You will waste it on things that are not important. And you will hold on to things that you are not supposed to hold on to, wasting your time and energy on things that are not relevant. And most of the time, some people that do this thing, they do these things because they are afraid that the day they say no, those people are going to leave them, and they don't want them to leave. They feel that by saying no, they will be hurt and disappointed, and that way they will leave them. They won't want them to leave. I tell you today, telling them no is the best thing you can do for them, because you are helping them by telling them no. Because when you don't tell them no, they will become emotionally dependent upon you. They will always look up to you for their source of happiness. They won't have that liberty to be able to have that emotional independence by themselves. So what happens if you're not around? What happens if you're not around? When you're not around to be there for them, to make them happy, how do they want to feel? So it's not your responsibility. By taking responsibility for other people's happiness, you are incapacitating them. You are hurting them rather than helping them. Because to you, what you are doing, you might think it is actually good, but at the end of the day, it is going to hurt them more, because they will always be dependent on you. And at the same time, you won't have that time yourself. The time you are using to fix their pain, you are using to fix their bad mood, you should use it to focus on yourself, to make yourself happy. By the time you use all your time and energy on them, trying to make them happy, you come back to yourself. You have little or no less energy on yourself, and you won't be able to work on yourself to make yourself better. So you can see it both ways. It is hurtful. It is not a good thing at all. So if you're in this kind of a shoe, trying to always fix people's feelings, trying to be responsible for other people's feelings, you need to stop it. You are not responsible for other people's feeling. What other people feel is not yours to carry. So that's the first thing. The second thing you are not responsible for, you are not responsible to fixing other people's problem. People will always have challenges. People will always have problems. You can offer support. You can offer a shoulder to cry on, but don't offer them solution. It is their right and their responsibility to look for solutions to their problems. You can give them advice, but don't give them the solution. Because by giving them the solution, becoming a problem solver all the time, like I said it before, you incapacitate them. You make them weak. You don't give them the ability to evolve. You don't give them the ability to grow. You make them weak. You make them feeble-minded. And sometimes you make them irresponsible, because whenever there's a problem, they will always believe that there's nothing they can do about it. Oh, I have to call this person will solve my problem for me. What if the person is busy? What if the person is going through a very difficult time and you expect that person to solve your problems for you? This is what happens when you don't allow other people to solve their problems by themselves. You make them dependent upon you. It is it's not a good thing to do. You incapacitate them. And I see this in what some parents do to their children. They want to solve every problem their children have. They believe that they have to be the one to take responsibility for everything going on in the child of their life. Fine, it might look good at the beginning, but such a parent is trying to create a weak and irresponsible adult. Because by the time they grow up to become adult, they become dependent on their parents. They believe that my mom is there, my dad is there, they will always call them whenever there's a problem. When there's a problem at work, they will call their parents for solution. When there's problem in their marriage, they will call their parents for solution. If they're having problems with the kid, they will call their parents for solution. They don't have the capacity to think for themselves, because their brain has been incapacitated and they've been made to believe that all their problems will be solved once this person appears. That is not how it's supposed to be. It is not supposed to be that way. Human beings are made to be independent. We are not made to be dependent on each other. No, we are meant to have an interdependent relationship, not a dependent relationship or a codependent relationship. It is not healthy at all. So you are not responsible for fixing others people's problem. You can offer the support, but don't give them the solution. Know the difference between support and solution. It is not your own to worry about. What they feel about you, what they think about you is their problem, not your problem. What they think, what they feel about you is their problem, not your problem. So you don't have to let somebody's pain, somebody's emotions get projected to you, or somebody's desires get projected to you. You have your own mind. Live for yourself and don't live for other people. So what I'm saying here might look like myself selfish, but it's just the truth. So if you're someone, you are in this kind of shoes, you need to be honest with yourself and start living your life for yourself. Learn to say no to them. Learn to say no to them. Whoever's weight you are actually carrying, it's time to let them go. Because if you don't let them go, you are making them dependent upon you. You are incapacitating them. You are not allowing them to grow. Rather than helping them, you are hurting them. So you need to know the difference between help and solution. You need to know the difference between support and solution, and always learn to say no. Always learn to say no. Please don't displease yourself to please other people. Don't displease yourself to please other people. So this is why I'll be stopping. I have to go now because I have some things I want to do. So I hope you got value for your time. I hope you got value in what I have said so far. If anything I've said so far resonated with you, I want you to leave it in the comment section and tell me what really resonated with you and what you have actually learned from this class today. And also, if you're watching me for the first time, I welcome you to my channel, Flourish and Thrive with CA, where we empower women to heal, thrive, and flourish after a toxic relationship, to help them heal and find happiness in life and in all their endeavors, to help them build their self-confidence. So if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to get updates when I make a new video. Presently, for all my viewers, I told you, for all my subscribers, I'm not making new videos right now. It's the old videos that I have that you can still be watching. You can still rewatch them again. What I'm only doing for now is just live session, and it's due to some things that I'm doing right now. I am quite busy right now, and I don't have that time to make the video, and at the same time to sit down with the editing. It's a lot of time wasting for me, so I prefer to do some live video. So that is what I'll be doing, but very soon, in some few months time, I'll be out of this, and I'll be able to to make videos. But for now, you all have to do with live sessions and some shorts that I make, some shorts that I make. So that is what I have talked about today. So guys, I hope you got value for everything I've said so far. Keep on subscribing. Thank you to all the subscribers, and those that are yet to subscribe, when you're watching me, subscribe to my channel. Help me grow, So thank you very much. So thank you, ladies, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you in my next live. Bye.